YouTube announces a new breakthrough feature that lets your audience connect their TV and their smartphone, making their YouTube TV viewing experience much better. In this week's Web3 news, Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, raises $500 million for a new startup fund, and Google builds its own in-house Web3 team. Twitter community gets a new feature where administrators and moderators can now pin a tweet and spotlight it to their community. All this and much more coming up in this week's edition of the Connected Church News with me, Nachi Lazarus. Welcome. This is the show that brings you the top 5 digital, social, and Web3 news you need to know this week in just 5 minutes. Let's get started. YouTube rolled out an important feature last week that lets your audience connect their TV with their smartphone when they are watching YouTube videos. I know many ministries and churches use YouTube extensively to reach your audience. So your audience who are increasingly starting to watch YouTube on their TV are going to have this new experience very soon that you need to be aware of, where if they are logged into the same YouTube account on TV and their phone, there will be a pop-up that says connect. So it's just as easy as clicking the connect button, and their phone will become an extension of their TV. Now they can read description, they can leave a comment, they can share your video. I mean, they can do all of that. It's almost like a remote control for the TV, but only for the YouTube app. So this, I think it's a significant thing. It's not a novel thing because many platforms have been trying to do this for years, but I think YouTube has finally got it and made this very simple, very easy from an audience perspective. Twitter announced that they are bringing a new feature to Twitter communities where the administrators and moderators will now be able to pin a particular tweet and highlight it or spotlight it to their community. This is a much requested feature and they finally brought it. They're saying it's now available on web version. It will also be soon available on iOS and Android, so it's much easier for the administrators and moderators to do that. If you have not yet used Twitter communities or if you have not checked out Twitter community feature, it is like Facebook groups but on Twitter platform. So if your audience are on Twitter as a nonprofit or ministry, you want to focus on Twitter as a platform, then especially for nonprofits, this community features is very useful. So do have a look. They are bringing in more features into this particular aspect of Twitter. It even has its own tab on Twitter. That is how important it is on Twitter platform. So take a look at the communities feature. Google made multiple announcements at their marketing event called Google Marketing Live. They talked about the improvement they are bringing to search product, augmented reality, machine learning, and many other items. But the two things I wanted to highlight to you, which could be important for you and me as nonprofits and ministries, is the announcement about YouTube Shorts. The announcement says your video action campaigns and app campaigns, if you've been using both, now will automatically scale to YouTube Shorts, because YouTube Shorts now averages 30 billion daily views and we want to help you reach people immersed in the short form content. So basically they're bringing YouTube Shorts into the campaign mix. And the other interesting announcement was about analytics and insights, where they are adding experimentation, optimization, and various other new features. So I will link to all of this in the show notes. Do take a look and pass it on to your measurement or analytics team. They may find it very helpful. 2 announcements from Instagram. One is about a branding visual refresh, where Instagram is bringing and looking at experimenting with a new typeface, a new way of presenting content, and so on. All the details are available in this website, brand.instagram.com. If you are like me, who is interested in branding, getting into the heads of UI, UX designers and seeing what they think about a particular brand, especially a big brand like Instagram, then you will find this fascinating. It's one of the best brand pages I've seen. Check it out. The second announcement is an important one about a new feature called Amber Alerts that has already been on Facebook, but now it comes to Instagram, where the announcement says we know the chances of finding a missing child increases when more people are on the lookout, especially in the first few hours. With this update, if an Amber Alert is activated by the law enforcement and you are in the designated search area, the alert will now appear in your Instagram feed, thereby helping the whole process. So very important feature indeed. Couple of news items from the Web3 space, which is fast evolving and it will definitely have an impact on what you and me do as nonprofits and ministries in the days to come. First is Binance, which is one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges, has announced that they are raising $500 million for a new startup fund that is going to focus on the Web3 space. This venture is called Binance Labs, which is their venture capital arm, and they will be focusing focusing on Web3 projects. Just wanted to bring to your attention to show how much action is happening in the Web3 space. The second is also an important indication of the growth of Web3 space, where Google, which is one of the large tech companies, and all the conversations about decentralization, moving away from the tech and so on, but now all the big tech companies are embracing Web3, and Google has announced, Google Cloud team has announced that they are putting together an in-house team just to focus on Web3 related services because of the heavy demand. So check out these two articles. That's all I had for you this week. Thank you for joining me. If you like to dig deeper into any of the stories, we've got all the source links and details in the description section. Do check it out. We also have them in our news page, nachilazarus.com/news. Do you have any questions, doubts, feedbacks, thoughts, comments, whatever you want to share with us, please send me a DM, leave a comment, or email me, or find me on any of the social media platforms. We'll be very happy to find answers for any of the questions you have. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week with another set of news items. Until then, you stay connected and stay blessed. God bless you. Bye-bye.